Hello everyone, this is Jose Garcia here, and today I just wanted to demonstrate a few simple tips that you could use when considering buying or selling stocks using the Robinhood app. Um, in some of the previous lessons that I shared, we talked about buying on market price or buying with a limit price, as well as selling at the market price or selling at a limit price. So I'm going to share another tip that you could combine with that for basic um, buying and selling strategies for stocks. This is not like expert level material in any way, but if you're just thinking about dabbling in buying and selling stocks, this is something you could use. So I'm going to show you a line graph of a hypothetical stock. So we're going to call this uh, JRG. I don't think that's a real ticker symbol, that's just my initials. Um, we're going to say this is what this stock looks like, right? Just there's a trend line right there, right? That's going to represent the price of a stock, okay? And you probably heard you want to buy low, sell high, so that way you can increase your profitability. So um, one of the things we're going to draw in here, we're going to try to draw a trend line. So with this trend line, you're going to try to see where the bottom points of this line graph are. Okay, so these are the prices that the stock has had over time. Let's say this is in a span of 6 months. Okay, so we're going to draw what looks like is a trend right there, right? So I don't know if you can see that very clearly, but this red line, that's going to be the lower end of the channel, and I'll show you why it's called a channel. Then you're going to draw another line for a trend at the top end of the stock prices. Okay, so I'm not giving you specific numbers, but this right here is known as a channel. So this is the bottom end of the channel, that's where you want to buy. And the top end of the channel is where you want to sell. And the reason is, if you buy here and sell here, you can then again buy here and then sell up here. You're going to be able to make the difference in profit for yourself. And then you can reinvest that or use it however you decide. So that's the main suggestion. I don't have numbers up here, but if you had a number, you would see the exact price. And on usually on stock websites, there's a grid you can put your cursor on. It'll tell you what that price is at a certain point. So right here, it'll tell you what that price was and when. And if you go up here, it'll tell you what that price was and when. And so what you want to try to do is predict when to sell. And so if you remember when we talked about limit buys and limit sells, you can set a price to automatically sell a stock once it hits a certain price, right? So let's say this bottom end right here was $30, and we haven't made it this far yet. I want to sell, or I want to buy, so if it's at the bottom end, I want to buy as low as possible. I don't think it's going to go lower than $30. So let's say I set up a limit buy at $30 to buy the stock. And I want to buy 10 stocks for $300 total. What will happen is if it hits that price, my limit purchase will go through, will take effect, and I will buy 10 stocks at $300. Now, then after that, perhaps I'm predicting the price is going to go up after I purchased. So eventually, I'm going to want to sell so I can make a profit from this. So in that case, this is, and this example is a very short-term buy and sell. You probably want to go longer term, but hey, there's day traders who buy and sell stocks on a daily basis. So the idea is that then I want to sell, let's say this up here were $40, and I can't see if it's actually going to get there, but I'm predicting because of this trend that eventually it's going to hit $40 and then possibly come down after that again. So I'm going to set my limit sell for $40. So once it hits $40, I'm going to sell the 10 stocks and I'll have made $10 profit per stock. For 10 stocks, that's $100 that I made with those 10 stocks at $30 that I bought at $30 and sold for 40. So that's how I would go about predicting the price and at which I want to buy and sell based on a trend. Now, these are not always very predictable. Just like a year ago, the stock market was fairly predictable. It was just on an uphill climb, and right now it's a little bit more volatile. The last 2 months, actually the last couple months, were kind of tricky to predict just because we're not on a steady uphill rise anymore. It's kind of tricky. Sometimes it jumps up really high and then dips really low, and so we're going into what a lot of people are calling a bear market. So it can be a little trickier, but this is just one of the tools that you might want to use if you're a beginner. There's a lot of other more sophisticated tools, but this is just a general sense of what you might want to try to do if you're buying or selling for the first time. So yeah, that's the lesson for today. I hope you've enjoyed, and feel free to share this. Thank you.